My husband of 40 years texted me from the Cody Stampede Rodeo parking lot. Need a break to find myself, already told the church ladies. That's what the message said while I was out in the north pasture burying our last cow. She'd died because I couldn't afford the hay anymore. Biden's inflation jacked prices 42% in one winter. 42%. But let me tell you where this story goes. Flash forward 6 months and you'll see IRS agents raiding Harold's Cheyenne condo. You'll see his 32-year-old life coach mistress live streaming his eviction to her 47 TikTok followers. You'll see me on my ranch porch in July 2024, MAGA hat sitting high, toasting Trump's comeback while Harold washes dishes at the Irma Hotel diner, where I tip him in pennies. If you've ever been blindsided by someone who swore till death do us part in front of Pastor Jim at First Baptist, stick with me. You'll see karma ride in faster than the 4th of July parade. I'm Margaret Thompson, 63 years old, Cody born and raised, owner of the 640-acre Thompson cattle spread off South Fork Road. This ranch smells like 3 things: sagebrush when the wind picks up off the Absarokas, leather from the tack room where my daddy's saddle still hangs, diesel from the F-250 that's older than most marriages in this town, including mine, apparently. The red MAGA cap on my head has been there since 2016, through 3 elections, 2 impeachments, and 1 stolen election that every honest person in Park County knows was rigged. Harold used to wear one too, stood right next to me at every Trump rally in Billings. That was before. It's April 2023. The debt ceiling crisis just crashed the market. Our retirement account lost half its value in 72 hours because Biden and his handlers played chicken with the economy. Again. I'm standing in the pasture with a dead Holstein at my feet. Diesel prices made it impossible to run the tractor enough. Hay prices made it impossible to feed the herd. Property taxes went up because some California bureaucrat decided Wyoming land was suddenly worth more on paper. The bank called twice this week about the operating loan. That's when my phone buzzes. Harold's name on the screen. I figured he was asking what I wanted from the hardware store in town, maybe telling me the rodeo parking was full. Need a break to find myself. Already told the church ladies. We'll talk about the details later. I read it 3 times. Stood there in my Carhartt jacket with manure on my boots and a dead cow bleeding out into Wyoming soil. Read it 3 more times. 40 years. We got married at First Baptist in July 1983. Ronald Reagan was president. Gas was $1.06 a gallon. You could buy a ranch for what a used Toyota costs now. We raised 2 kids on this land. Sent them both to college. Watched them move to Texas and Colorado for work because Wyoming doesn't have jobs anymore unless you count serving coffee to tourists. We survived droughts, blizzards, the Obama years, COVID lockdowns that nearly bankrupted every small rancher in the state. And Harold tells me through a text message that he's finding himself. I call him. Straight to voicemail. Call again. Voicemail. I get in the truck and drive into town doing 80 on Highway 120. His truck isn't at the rodeo grounds, isn't at the Dairy Queen, isn't at Pastor Jim's office. I go home. The house is quiet. Too quiet. His hunting rifles are still in the cabinet. His clothes are still in the closet. But his laptop is gone. His files from the office are gone. The accordion folder where we kept the ranch documents is gone. I sit at the kitchen table, the same table where we drank coffee every morning for 40 years, where we signed the deed to this ranch in 1985. Where we ate Thanksgiving dinner with the kids before they stopped coming home. My phone buzzes again. It's a message from Linda Kowalski. She goes to First Baptist. Runs the women's Bible study I've been part of since 1987. Margaret, I'm so sorry. Harold told us this morning before service. We're praying for you both. That's how I find out my marriage is over, from Linda Kowalski's prayer chain text. I pour myself 3 fingers of whiskey. The Bullite bourbon Harold kept for special occasions, except now there won't be any more special occasions. Just me and 640 acres and a dead cow I still need to deal with before the coyotes come. I drink it straight, let it burn. Then I open my laptop, check the bank accounts, check the retirement accounts, check everything. That's when I see it. Harold didn't just leave, he moved money, lots of money. Transferred funds I didn't authorize. Our joint savings account that had $47,000 last week now has $3,200. The retirement account he could access shows a withdrawal request pending. For everything, every single dollar we saved since 1985. I find an email in the trash folder. He thought he deleted it but didn't empty the trash. It's from a lawyer in Cheyenne. Initial filing for dissolution of marriage. Preliminary paperwork to sell the ranch. Division of assets heavily weighted in his favor. All dated 3 weeks ago. While I was feeding cattle and fixing fence and keeping this operation alive, Harold was planning his exit. 3 weeks of looking me in the eye over coffee. 3 weeks of lying in the same bed. 3 weeks of letting me believe we were in this together. I pour another whiskey. Drink it faster than the first. Then I start making calls. The first call I make is to my lawyer, Tom Henderson. He's been handling ranch business since my daddy died in 1998. He's 71 years old and still sharp as a tack. Tom picks up on the second ring. "Margaret, what's wrong?" "Everything," I tell him, and I mean everything. I spend 20 minutes laying it out. The text message, the moved money, the divorce filing I found in the trash folder, the timeline that proves Harold planned this while looking me in the eye every morning. Tom is quiet for a long time. Then he says, "We need to file an emergency injunction first thing Monday morning. And Margaret, don't touch anything, don't delete anything, don't sign anything he sends you." I hang up and sit in the dark kitchen. It's past midnight now. The whiskey bottle is half empty. Outside the window I can see the barn lit up by the motion light, a coyote probably, or maybe just the wind. I should sleep, but I can't. So I do what I always do when I can't sleep. I go through the books. The ranch books are kept in 3 filing cabinets in Harold's office. Tax documents, expense reports, receipts going back 40 years. My daddy taught me to keep every piece of paper because the IRS doesn't care about your stories, only your documentation. I start pulling files, looking for anything unusual, anything that might tell me when this started. February 2023. That's when things got weird. I'm in the North Corral, knee-deep in snow, feeding the cattle. It's 14 degrees and the wind is blowing so hard I can barely see the barn. Wyoming in February will humble you real fast. My phone buzzes in my coat pocket. I almost don't check it because my fingers are frozen and the cattle are pushing against the gate. But something tells me to look. Harold's message lights up the screen. Told the quilting bee at the senior center we're on a break. Need space. Already moved $240,000 to my new account. I read it twice. Standing there in the snow with 40 head of cattle waiting for hay. The wind howling. My face so cold I can't feel my cheeks. Then I laugh. I laugh so hard the cattle spook and back away from the fence. I laugh until tears freeze on my face, because the audacity of this man. The absolute audacity. I text back with frozen fingers. "Space? You couldn't find your ass in a phone booth with GPS." Then I finish feeding, because the cattle don't care about my marriage falling apart, they just want their hay. Back in the house, I check our Vanguard retirement account, the one we've been building since 1985, the one that's supposed to fund our golden years. It's down $180,000. In 48 hours. Biden's debt ceiling deal tanked the market again. Every financial advisor said it would happen. Every economist with half a brain warned Congress. But they did it anyway because politicians in Washington don't care about ranchers in Wyoming. They don't care about people who actually work for a living. And now Harold has moved $240,000 on top of the $180,000 we lost. That's $420,000 gone, more than half our life savings. Vanished while I was out feeding cattle in a blizzard. I sit at the kitchen table, the same table where we ate breakfast this morning, where he looked me in the eye and said he'd pick up feed from the co-op, while planning to tell the quilting bee we're on a break. I remember our wedding, July 1983, St. Anthony's Catholic Church in Cody. It was 97 degrees and the air conditioning was broken. I wore my mama's dress with cowboy boots underneath because I wasn't about to wear heels on my wedding day. Harold wore his daddy's bolo tie and a borrowed suit. We were 23 years old, broke as hell but happy. We honeymooned at Jenny Lake because it was all we could afford. We built this ranch from nothing, Saved every penny, worked 16-hour days, missed birthdays and anniversaries and sleep because the work never stops on a ranch. 40 years of that, 40 years of partnership, or so I thought. Now I'm going through files at 2 inches the morning looking for evidence of betrayal. And I find it. February 2020, right before COVID, there's an expense in the ranch books for $25,000, listed as vet supplies. $25,000 for vet supplies. I've been ranching my whole life. I know what vet supplies cost. You might spend 5,000 inches a really bad year, maybe 7,000 if you're dealing with an outbreak. But 25,000? I pull the bank statement. Find the check. It's made out to something called Mountain West Advocacy Fund. I Google it. It takes 3 searches to find the truth. Mountain West Advocacy Fund is a PAC, a political action committee. For Biden. My hands start shaking. Not from cold this time, from rage. I dig deeper, find 2 more donations, one in June 2020 for $10,000, listed as equipment repair, another in September 2020 for $15,000, listed as fuel costs. $50,000 total. To elect Joe Biden. While I wore my MAGA hat to every Trump rally in Montana and Wyoming, while I defended Trump at church when the liberals in town called him names, while I believed my husband stood next to me in this fight, he was funding the other side. With our money. With ranch money we needed for actual vet supplies and equipment and fuel. I sit back in the chair. The office is spinning. Or maybe that's the whiskey. Or maybe that's just what betrayal feels like when it hits you in waves. Harold didn't just leave me for some life coach in Cheyenne. He's been lying about who he is for years. And now I'm going to make him pay for every single lie. Sunday morning I walk into First Baptist Church on 12th Street, wearing the same clothes I wore yesterday. I didn't sleep, didn't shower, just put on my MAGA hat and drove into town. The church is full. It's always full. Cody is a town where people still believe in something bigger than themselves, where Sunday service isn't optional. Pastor Jim is already at the pulpit when I slide into my usual pew, 3rd row from the back, right side, same spot I've sat in since 1983. The spot next to me is empty. Harold's spot. Everyone notices. Pastor Jim clears his throat. Let us pray for marriages under strain, for couples facing difficult seasons, for those who feel lost and alone. Every head in that church swivels toward me. I feel 200 eyes burning into the back of my neck. Linda Kowalski reaches across the aisle and squeezes my hand. Mrs. Patterson dabs her eyes with a tissue. Even tough old Hank Morrison looks at me with something like pity. I hate pity. But I bow my head and pretend to pray, because that's what you do in a small town. You maintain appearances even when your world is burning down. What I'm actually thinking about is Harold. Right now, this very second, he's probably at the Park County Fairgrounds. That's what Linda texted me this morning. Said she saw his truck parked there yesterday afternoon. Saw him with a woman, younger, blonde, wearing Lululemon leggings that cost more than a week of groceries. Brandy, the life coach. That's what Linda called her. Said she's got an Instagram with 3,000 followers where she posts about manifestation and chakras and finding your authentic self. Harold is 63 years old. He has hemorrhoids and high blood pressure and can't work a smartphone without calling me for help. But apparently he's found his authentic self with a 32-year-old woman who thinks crystals cure cancer. The collection plate comes around. I reach into my purse and pull out a 20, drop it in. The plate passes to Mrs. Larson on my right. She leans close, whispers so quiet I almost miss it. Fight like Trump, Margaret. Don't let him win. Something breaks open in my chest. Not tears, not yet, but something close. We stand for the hymn, How Great Thou Art, my daddy's favorite. He used to sing it while we worked cattle, off-key and loud and full of joy even when the work was hard. I open my mouth to sing and nothing comes out. I'm standing in First Baptist Church with 200 people I've known my whole life, trying to sing about God's greatness, and all I can think about is my daddy teaching me to rope on this same land Harold is trying to steal. I was 7 years old. Daddy put me on his horse and handed me a lariat, showed me how to build a loop, how to swing it overhead, how to release at exactly the right moment. "You'll miss 100 times before you catch one," he said. "But you keep trying. That's what Thompsons do." The tears come now, hot and fast. I don't wipe them away, just let them fall while the church sings around me. After service, I sit in my truck in the parking lot, watch families load into their vehicles, kids in Sunday clothes already pulling off their ties, parents arguing about where to eat lunch. Normal people living normal lives. My phone buzzes. Tom Henderson, my lawyer. "Margaret, I need you to come to my office tomorrow morning, 9 sharp. I found something in those documents you sent me. Something big." "What is it?" I ask. "Not over the phone, just be there." I drive to the Nifty 50 Diner on Sheridan Avenue. It's where Harold and I ate breakfast every Saturday morning for 30 years. Chicken fried steak and eggs over easy and coffee black as sin. I don't know why I go there. Maybe because I'm tired of avoiding places, tired of being the victim. I park in the back lot, walk around to the entrance. And there's Harold's truck. My heart stops, then starts again, faster, harder. I should leave, should get back in my truck and drive home, but I don't. I walk into that diner like I own it. Harold is in a corner booth, with her, Brandy, she's even younger up close, wearing a cashmere sweater and designer jeans and enough diamonds to choke a horse. His back is to me, he doesn't see me coming. But she does, her eyes go wide, she touches his arm, says something. He turns. For a second we just stare at each other, 40 years of marriage reduced to this moment in a diner that smells like grease and coffee. Then I speak. "We need to talk. Now." "Margaret, this isn't the time." "Oh, it's exactly the time, get up." He looks at Brandy. She nods. Like she's giving him permission. The audacity makes my blood boil. We walk outside, stand between our trucks in the parking lot. The Sunday crowd is filtering into the diner. People are watching through the windows. Let them watch. "You're selling the ranch," I say. Not a question. A statement. Harold's jaw tightens. "Yes." "To fund what exactly? Your midlife crisis?" "To fund our new life. Mine and Brandy's. In Cheyenne." Our life. Like I'm already erased. Like 40 years means nothing. "Who's buying it?" I ask. "That's not your concern." "Tell me who's buying my family's ranch or I swear to God, Harold." He hesitates, then shrugs. Like it doesn't matter anymore, like nothing matters. "Brandy's LLC. Mountain West Properties. She's an investor. This is a good business opportunity." The world tilts sideways. "Your girlfriend is buying our ranch." "She's not my girlfriend. She's my partner. In life and business." I laugh. Can't help it. It comes out sharp and mean. "How much did you sell it for?" $900,000. "It's worth $1.4 million. I had it appraised 6 months ago." Things change. Markets fluctuate. "You're selling our ranch to your mistress for $500,000 under value." Harold steps closer. His face is red now, angry. "It's not your ranch anymore, Margaret, it's ours, and I have every right to sell." "We'll see about that," I tell him. Then I get in my truck and drive away before I do something that lands me in jail. I drive home doing 90 on Highway 120. My hands are shaking on the wheel, not from fear, from pure rage. The ranch house looks the same as always. Pine walls weathered gray, elk antlers over the front door that my daddy shot in 1974, the American flag and the Wyoming flag flying side by side. Inside, Fox News is playing on the TV. I left it on this morning. Maria Bartiromo talking about the border crisis. The sound is oddly comforting. I go straight to Harold's office, start pulling files again, but this time I know what I'm looking for. The listing agreement. It has to be here somewhere. I find it in the bottom drawer of his desk, under a stack of old National Geographic magazines he's been hoarding since the 90s. Signed and dated. Ready to go. My signature is right there at the bottom. Margaret A. Thompson, in what looks exactly like my handwriting. Except I never signed this. I grab my phone, take pictures of every page. Then I call Tom Henderson. Tom, he forged my signature. Slow down, Margaret. What are you talking about? The listing agreement for the ranch. I found it. My signature is on it, but I never signed it. He forged it. Tom is quiet for a long moment. Are you absolutely certain? I've been signing my name for 63 years, Tom. I know what my signature looks like. This isn't it. It's close, but it's not mine. Then we've got him. Fraud invalidates the entire contract. I'll file an emergency motion first thing tomorrow. There's more, I tell him. He's selling to his girlfriend's LLC for $1.2 million. The ranch is worth at least $1.6. Tom whistles low. That's $400,000 below market value. Combined with the forged signature, this is going to get ugly for Harold real fast. I hang up and sit at Harold's desk. Our desk. The one we picked out at a furniture store in Billings in 1986. Solid oak, built to last forever. Just like our marriage was supposed to be. My phone rings. Unknown number. I answer anyway. Mrs. Thompson? This is Susan Kowalski. I'm an attorney here in Cody. Tom Henderson asked me to give you a call. Susan Kowalski. The name clicks. You're Linda's daughter. That's right. Cody High Class of 78. 2 years behind you. Her voice is warm. Professional but friendly. Small-town lawyers are different than big-city lawyers. They remember when you taught their Sunday school class. Tom filled me in on your situation, Susan says. And girl, this is easier than branding calves. Your husband made every mistake in the book. Relief floods through me. So what do we do? First, we file that emergency injunction tomorrow. Stop the sale dead in its tracks. Then we go after him for fraud, misappropriation of marital funds, and about 6 other things I can think of off the top of my head. What about the money he already moved? We'll get it back. Every penny. And Margaret, there's something else you should know. What? Tom found a provision in the 2017 Trump tax bill, Section 1031 Modifications for Family Farms. It requires both spouses to sign off on any sale of agricultural property if it's been in the family for more than 20 years. In person. In front of a Wyoming notary. I sit up straighter. What does that mean? It means even if Harold hadn't forged your signature, the sale would be invalid anyway. You have to physically appear and sign in front of a notary. His entire deal is dead in the water. Trump saved my ranch. The irony isn't lost on me. Harold donated $50,000 to elect Biden, and Trump's tax policy is the thing that's going to save me. I hang up and walk into the kitchen. Pour myself a glass of water because I'm done with whiskey for today. My head needs to be clear. On the counter is my mama's old recipe box. Wooden, hand-painted with wildflowers. She kept her best recipes in there. Pot roast, apple pie, her famous Christmas fudge. I open it. Haven't looked inside in years. There, tucked under the recipe cards, is a note in her handwriting. I recognize it immediately, even though she's been gone since 2001. Thompson women don't fold. That's all it says. 4 words on a piece of yellowed paper. I read it 3 times. Then I put it in my pocket. My phone buzzes. Susan Kowalski again. Margaret, one more thing. I just got off the phone with the county clerk. Harold filed the paperwork to sell on Friday. But there's a mandatory 72-hour waiting period for all agricultural property sales over $500,000. What does that mean? It means the clock started Friday. We have until Wednesday morning to stop this. After that, the sale goes through and it gets a lot more complicated. I look at the calendar on the wall. Today is Sunday. That gives us 3 days. I'll be at your office 9 a.m. tomorrow, I tell her. Perfect. And Margaret? We're going to win this, I promise you that. I hang up and stand in my kitchen. The same kitchen where I've cooked 10,000 meals, where I taught my kids to bake cookies, where Harold and I drank coffee every morning for 40 years. This is my house, my ranch, my land. And I'm not giving it up without a fight. Monday morning, I meet Susan Kowalski at her office on Sheridan Avenue. We file the emergency injunction at the Park County Courthouse by 10 a.m. By noon, the sale is frozen. Susan calls me from her car. It's done. Harold's deal with Brandy's LLC is dead. The court issued a temporary restraining order preventing any transfer of the property until we have a hearing. When's the hearing? I ask. 2 weeks. April 15th. Tax day. Fitting, don't you think? I thank her and hang up. Then I drive to the Cody Library for their spring book sale. It's a tradition in this town. Every March, the library clears out old books and sells them for $1 each. I've been coming since I was a kid. Today I'm not here for books. I'm here for the computer lab. The library has 6 public computers in the back, free internet access, no questions asked. I sit down at the one in the corner, farthest from the desk, create a new email account. Then I open the IRS website. There's a section for reporting tax fraud. Anonymous tips. They promise confidentiality. I upload every document I found in Harold's files. The receipts showing $50,000 in political donations disguised as ranch expenses, the bank statements, the transfer records. Then I write a detailed explanation. How my husband claimed $25,000 in vet supplies when we never had any major animal health issues that year. How he claimed 15,000 inches fuel costs when our actual fuel expenses were less than 6,000. How every fraudulent deduction coincided with a political donation to Joe Biden's campaign. I hit send before I can change my mind. Then I delete the email account, clear the browser history, walk out of the library like nothing happened. 2 weeks pass. The injunction holds. Harold's lawyer tries twice to get it lifted, fails both times. I focus on the ranch, fixing fence, moving cattle, doing the work that never stops no matter how much your personal life is falling apart. Then on a Tuesday morning in late March, my phone buzzes. It's Linda Kowalski. Margaret, turn on the news. Channel 9, right now. I'm in the barn. I walk back to the house and flip on the TV. There's a breaking news banner. IRS raid in Cheyenne. Federal agents executing search warrant at luxury condominium complex. The camera shows Harold's building. I recognize it from the address on his mail. 3 black SUVs parked out front. Agents in windbreakers carrying boxes. And there, on the balcony, is Brandy. She's filming on her phone, live streaming to Instagram. I can see it on the split screen the news is showing. Her voice is shrill, high-pitched with panic. This is Biden's America, everyone. Federal agents raiding an innocent man's home. This is tyranny. The irony is so thick I almost choke on it. Harold voted for this, paid for this, donated $50,000 to make this administration possible. And now they're at his door. The news anchor explains that federal agents are investigating potential tax fraud related to improper business deductions. No arrests have been made yet. I turn off the TV, sit in the quiet. Then I saddle up my horse, the bay mare I've had for 12 years. Her name is Rosie, and she knows every inch of this ranch better than most people know their own backyards. We ride up to the ridge, to the family cemetery where my parents are buried, where my grandparents rest. 4 generations of Thompsons who worked this land. My daddy's grave is under a cottonwood tree he planted when I was born. The headstone is simple. Thomas William Thompson, 1940 to 1998. Beloved husband and father. I dismount, stand there with my hat in my hands. Daddy, I'm keeping your legacy. I promise you that. Harold tried to take it, tried to sell it out from under me, but I'm fighting back. Just like you taught me. The wind picks up, makes the cottonwood leaves rustle, sounds like whispers. Thompson women don't fold. I ride back down as the sun starts setting, orange and pink light painting the Absaroka Mountains, the same view my daddy saw every evening of his life. The same view I'll see for the rest of mine. Back at the house, my phone is ringing, Harold's name on the screen. I let it ring. It goes to voicemail. He calls again. And again. 6 times in 20 minutes. Finally, I answer. What? Margaret, please. You have to help me. The IRS froze my accounts. All of them. The $240,000 I moved. Everything. His voice is desperate, panicked, good. Why would I help you, Harold? Because we're still married. Because those are marital assets. Because this affects you too. Those were marital assets when you stole them. Now they're evidence in a federal investigation. I didn't steal anything. Those donations were legitimate business expenses. Donations to a political campaign are not business expenses. You committed fraud, you lied to the IRS, and now you're paying for it. Margaret, please. I'm begging you. They're saying I owe 240,000 inches back taxes plus penalties. I could go to jail. Should have thought about that before you donated our money to Biden. This is your fault. You reported me. I know it was you. Prove it, I tell him. Then I hang up. He calls back immediately. I silence the phone, watch it light up over and over until he finally gives up. Outside the window, the sun has fully set. Stars are coming out, the same stars that have hung over this ranch for 100 years. I pour myself a glass of bourbon, the good stuff Harold was saving. Then I raise it to the sky, to my daddy, to my mama, to every Thompson who came before me. We don't fold. July comes to Wyoming like a promise. Hot days, cool nights, blue skies that go on forever. And in Cody, July means one thing: the Stampede. The Cody Stampede Rodeo is older than most towns in Wyoming. Started in 1919, runs every night from July 1st through the 4th. Cowboys and cowgirls from all over the country come to compete. It's the biggest event of the year. The whole town shuts down for it. This year I'm riding in the opening parade, on my bay mare Liberty. Named her that back in 2016 when Trump won the first time. I braid her mane with red, white, and blue ribbons, polish her hooves, brush her coat until it shines. Then I attach the flag to my saddle. Not the American flag, though I've got that too. This one is the MAGA flag I bought at the rally in Billings, Trump 2024, Take America Back. It's 90 degrees and the parade route is packed. Thousands of people lining Sheridan Avenue, kids on their parents' shoulders, tourists with cameras, locals in lawn chairs they've had since the Reagan administration. I ride tall in the saddle, head high, the flag snapping in the wind behind me. People cheer, wave. Some of them call my name. Margaret Thompson, fighting the good fight. We're with you, Margaret. It feels good. Feels like I'm not alone in this. We turn onto the main stretch, past the grandstand where the announcers sit, where the judges watch, where the whole town can see. That's when I spot Harold. He's in the beer tent, with Brandy. She's wearing a sundress that costs more than my truck payment. He's holding a beer and looking miserable. Our eyes meet across the crowd. Then he stands up, walks toward the parade route. He's holding papers. I know what they are before he even gets close. Harold steps into the street, right in front of Liberty. My mare stops, confused. The whole parade backs up behind me. He holds out the papers. Divorce petition. Final and official. Margaret Thompson, you've been served. His voice carries. The microphone at the grandstand picks it up. The whole crowd can hear. People gasp. Literally gasp. Like we're in a movie. I look down at Harold from my horse. This man I married 40 years ago. This man who promised to love me in sickness and health, for richer or poorer. He couldn't even make it through one market crash. I take the papers, fold them once, tuck them into my saddlebag. Then I tip my hat, look right at the grandstand, right at the microphone. Harold, even the Bronx lasts longer than your spine. The crowd erupts, cheering, laughing, applauding. Someone whistles, long and loud. Harold's face goes red, then white. He turns and walks back to the beer tent. I nudge Liberty forward. The parade continues. We pass the Cody High Rodeo team section. 15 kids I coach every Saturday morning, teaching them to rope and ride and compete. They're on their feet, screaming my name, waving their hats. Coach Thompson, you're a legend. Emma Winters, 17 years old, future barrel racing champion, cups her hands around her mouth. We love you, Coach. Something cracks open in my chest. These kids, they don't care about my divorce, don't care about the drama. They just see someone who shows up every Saturday and teaches them to be better. I wave back, blink away tears before anyone can see them. The parade route winds through downtown, past the Irma Hotel Buffalo Bill built, past the museum, past all the places that make Cody what it is. American flags everywhere, music playing, the smell of barbecue and beer in summer. This is my town, my home. Harold can take a lot of things from me, but he can't take this. We circle back toward the beer tent. The parade is ending. Riders are dismounting. Families are flooding into the rodeo grounds. That's when I hear the screaming. It's Brandy, her voice cutting through the crowd noise like a knife. "You're broke? You told me you had money. You told me we were buying a ranch." I can't see them, but I can hear every word. So can half the parade route. Harold's voice, defensive and weak. "The IRS froze my accounts. It's temporary, we'll get it back." Temporary? You owe $240,000 in back taxes. Your lawyer told me everything. There's a long pause. Then Brandy again, louder now. "I'm done. We're done. I didn't sign up for this." More yelling. I edge Liberty closer. Not too close, just close enough to see. Brandy is storming off, her designer purse swinging, heels clicking on the pavement. And walking beside her, hand around her waist, is Tyler Garrett, bull rider from Texas, 26 years old, won the championship last year. He's grinning. She's giggling. Harold is standing there alone, divorce papers in one hand, empty beer in the other, watching his life coach girlfriend walk away with a man half his age. The crowd has gone quiet, everyone watching, everyone seeing. Linda Kowalski appears at my side. She drove over from the church ladies section. "Margaret," she says quietly. "That's the best thing I've seen all year." I dismount, lead Liberty toward the trailer. My legs are shaking, from adrenaline or emotion or just the weight of it all. But I'm smiling. Actually smiling. Because Harold Thompson tried to destroy me. Tried to take everything. My ranch, my money, my dignity. And now he's standing in the middle of the Cody stampede with nothing. No wife, no girlfriend, no money, no ranch. Just him and his choices, and the consequences rolling in like a summer storm. I load Liberty into the trailer, give her fresh water and hay, tell her she did good today. Then I drive home, past the fairgrounds, past the beer tent, past Harold's truck still parked where he left it. The ranch is quiet when I pull in, the cattle grazing in the south pasture, the barn door swinging slightly in the breeze. I walk inside, take off my boots, sit at the kitchen table. And I laugh, really laugh, for the first time in months. Thompson women don't fold. August in Wyoming is when the hay comes in, when ranchers work sunrise to sunset getting winter feed stored away, when communities come together to help each other survive another year. This August, I'm not sure I'll make it. The hay prices are still sky high. My bank account is still drained from legal fees. The cattle need to eat, but I'm running out of options. That's when Linda Kowalski calls Wednesday Women's Bible Study. "Rec Center, can you come?" I almost say no. Haven't been to Bible study since this whole thing started. Can't face all those sympathetic looks and whispered prayers. But something in Linda's voice makes me go. I walk into the rec center at 7 p.m., expect maybe 12 women like usual. There are 40. Every pew is full. Women from First Baptist, women from the Methodist Church, even a few from the Catholic parish. All ages, all backgrounds, united by one thing. They're here for me. Linda stands up front, calls the meeting to order, then she looks right at me. Margaret Thompson has been a pillar of this community for 63 years. She's coached our kids, volunteered at the food bank, never missed a funeral or a wedding or a crisis. Now she's in crisis. And Cody takes care of its own. The room erupts in amens and applause. Mrs. Larson stands up. "I'm putting in $500 for Margaret's legal fund." Emma Winters' mother stands. "I'm in for $300. One by one they pledge, 20s and 50s and hundreds. Women on fixed incomes giving what they can. Widows, single mothers, retirees. By the end of the night, they've raised $18,000. I can't speak, can't even thank them properly. Just stand there crying while these women I've known my whole life save me. Linda hugs me. We're calling it the Thompson Defense Fund. And Margaret, we're not done yet. The next morning, Susan Kowalski calls. Margaret, Harold's lawyer, filed a motion to contest the IRS tax lien, says the seizure was improper, wants his money back. Can he do that? He can try. But here's the thing. The judge assigned to the case is Robert Morrison, Trump appointee from 2018. He doesn't have much patience for tax fraud. Judge Morrison. I know his family. His daddy owned the feed store where my daddy shopped for 40 years. Small towns have long memories. The hearing is set for August 23rd, Federal Courthouse in Cheyenne. I drive the 2 hours with Susan. Wear my best dress, the navy one I bought for my daughter's college graduation. Harold is already there, looking smaller than I remember. Thinner. His suit hangs loose on him like he's shrinking inside it. His lawyer is some hotshot from Denver. Expensive suit, designer briefcase, the kind of lawyer you hire when you're desperate. We sit on opposite sides of the courtroom, don't look at each other. Judge Morrison enters, 70 years old, white hair, steel gray eyes that miss nothing. The hearing lasts 3 hours. Harold's lawyer argues the IRS overreached, that the donations were legitimate business expenses, that freezing Harold's assets was excessive. Susan stands up for our side, presents evidence of fraud, shows the forged signature on the ranch listing agreement, explains how Harold tried to sell marital property without consent. Then she drops the counterclaim. Your Honor, my client is seeking damages for emotional distress, loss of companionship, loss of consortium, and specifically loss of rodeo companionship valued at $50,000. Harold's lawyer sputters. Loss of rodeo companionship? That's not a recognized legal category. Susan doesn't miss a beat. Mr. and Mrs. Thompson attended every rodeo event together for 40 years. It was a fundamental part of their marital relationship. My client has suffered measurable harm from the loss of this companionship. Judge Morrison's mouth twitches. Might be a smile. Hard to tell. He calls a recess. We wait 2 hours. When he returns, his face is stone. I've reviewed all the evidence. The tax fraud is clear and substantial. The forged signature constitutes fraud. The attempt to sell marital property below market value to the defendant's paramour shows intent to defraud the plaintiff. Harold slumps in his chair. Therefore, I'm ruling as follows. The IRS seizure stands. All marital assets are frozen pending final divorce settlement. The ranch property known as Thompson Cattle Company is awarded solely to Margaret Thompson effective immediately. Mr. Thompson has 30 days to vacate the Cheyenne condominium, which is also marital property. The gavel comes down. Bang. It's over. Susan squeezes my hand. We won. Everything. Outside the courthouse, I stand in the Wyoming Sunday August, heat baking the pavement, traffic noise, people walking by with their regular lives. And I feel lighter than I have in months. Harold walks past without looking at me, gets in his truck, drives away. I watch him go. This man I spent 40 years with, this man who tried to destroy me. Gone. 2 days later, I'm back at the ranch, feeding the cattle, fixing a section of fence that came loose in the last storm. A truck pulls up the drive, then another, then another. 6 trucks total, beds loaded with hay bales. Bob Morrison gets out first, Judge Morrison's nephew, runs a ranch 30 miles east. Heard you could use some hay, Margaret. We all chipped in. 200 bales, should get you through winter. I can't pay you, not right now. He waves me off. Consider it a gift, from Cody to one of its own. The other ranchers pile out, start unloading, stack the bales in my barn with practiced efficiency. I stand there watching. These men I've known forever, competitors at the rodeo, bidders at the livestock auction, friends, my community. When they're done, Bob tips his hat. You need anything else, you call. Understood? I nod. Can't speak past the lump in my throat. They drive off. Leave me standing in my barn surrounded by hay I couldn't afford. Given freely by people who know what it means to struggle, to survive, to help each other make it through another year. Thompson women don't fold. And neither does Cody, Wyoming. September 30th, the day Harold has to be out of the Cheyenne condo. the day the sheriff enforces the eviction. I wake up at 5 a.m., feed the cattle, make coffee, then I get in my F-250 and drive the 2 hours to Cheyenne. I don't know why I need to see this. Maybe for closure. Maybe for proof that karma is real. Maybe just because after everything he put me through, I've earned the right to watch him fall. The condo complex is upscale. Granite countertops and stainless steel appliances. The kind of place Harold imagined himself living with his yoga instructor girlfriend. I park across the street, engine running, coffee in hand. At 9 a.m. sharp, the sheriff's vehicle pulls up. 2 deputies get out, walk to Harold's door with papers. Harold answers in sweatpants and a t-shirt. Hair uncombed. He looks like he's aged 10 years and 3 months. The deputies hand him something. He reads it, his shoulders slump. Then they start taping the eviction notice to his door. Big orange paper. Official stamps. The kind of notice everyone in the building will see. Harold starts loading a U-Haul. It's parked in the fire lane, yellow and white, dented on one side. He carries out boxes, furniture, a yoga mat that definitely isn't his. Brandy must have left her stuff behind when she ran off with the bull rider. The irony would be funny if it wasn't so pathetic. I watch for an hour. He makes maybe 15 trips, each time moving slower, looking more defeated. Then he sees my truck. Our eyes meet across the parking lot. He walks over, slowly, like a man approaching his own execution. I roll down the window. "Margaret," his voice cracks, "please, I need help. Just $500 to get me through the month." I reach into my purse. He looks hopeful, desperate. I pull out a piece of paper, hand it to him. It's a job application for the Irma Hotel in Cody. They're hiring a dishwasher, pays $15 an hour. I already talked to the manager, told him you'd be coming by. Harold stares at the application. His hands are shaking. "You can't be serious." "Dead serious. You need money, you work for it. Like the rest of us." "I'm 63 years old, Margaret. I'm not washing dishes." "I'm 63 years old, Harold. I'm running a 640-acre ranch by myself because my husband stole my retirement and tried to sell my land to his mistress. We all do what we have to do." He crumples the application, throws it on the ground. "I hope you're happy. I hope destroying me was worth it." "I didn't destroy you, Harold. You did that yourself. I just stopped cleaning up your messes." I roll up the window, start to drive away. Then I stop, back up, roll the window down again. There's something on my dashboard. My daddy's old pocket knife, the one he carried for 50 years, the one he gave Harold on our wedding day in 1983. "A Thompson man takes care of his family," my daddy said. "This knife has been with me through every hard day of my life. Let it remind you what matters." I pick it up, hold it for a moment, feel the worn handle, the weight of it. Then I hand it to Harold through the window. "This was supposed to be yours. You were supposed to be a Thompson man, but you're not, so I'm taking it back." I drive away, leave him standing in the parking lot holding a knife that means nothing to him anymore. 2 weeks later, Linda Kowalski calls. "Margaret, you need to come to breakfast. Today. The Irma Hotel." "Why, what's happening?" "Just come. Trust me." I drive into town, park at the Irma, Buffalo Bills Hotel from 1902, still standing, still serving the best chicken fried steak in Wyoming. I walk in. The breakfast crowd is there. Ranchers, tourists, locals reading the paper over coffee. Linda is in a corner booth, grinning like she knows the world's best secret. I sit down. "What's this about?" Linda points toward the kitchen. "Look who's working." Through the service window I see him. Harold, wearing a white apron, hair covered by a net, carrying a tub of dirty dishes. He's bussing tables. At the Irma Hotel, in Cody, where everyone knows him, where everyone knows what he did. I watch as he clears a table near us, stacks plates, wipes down the surface, doesn't look up, doesn't make eye contact with anyone. Linda leans close. Started 3 days ago, lives at the Trails End Motel on the highway, walks to work because he can't afford gas, makes minimum wage plus tips. How much in tips? Linda grins. Not much. Turns out people in Cody aren't feeling real generous toward him. The waitress comes by, young girl named Sarah. Works here while studying at Northwest College. What can I get you ladies? Chicken fried steak, I say. Eggs over easy, coffee black. Sarah writes it down, hollers the order to the kitchen. Harold appears to clear the table next to us. His hands are red and raw from dishwater. He's moving slow, like every step hurts. Our eyes meet. Just for a second. He looks away first. Sarah brings my food. I eat slowly, savoring every bite. The crispy coating, the peppery gravy, the eggs cooked perfect. When I'm done, I leave a 20 on the table. Good tip for Sarah. And 5 pennies lined up in a row for Harold. Linda laughs so hard she snorts coffee. We walk out into the Wyoming sunshine, September turning to October, the leaves changing, the air getting crisp. Behind us, the Irma Hotel keeps serving. Harold keeps bussing tables. Life keeps moving forward. As it always does. November 5th, 2024. Election night in America. I'm on my front porch. The same porch where I sat the night Harold's text came through. The same porch my daddy built in 1975. The same porch that's seen 4 generations of Thompsons weather every storm Wyoming could throw at us. But tonight is different. Tonight feels like winning. I've got string lights hanging from the rafters. They cast a warm glow across the worn wooden planks. My MAGA hat sits on my head, not the old one from 2016. A new one, bright red. Trump 2024. Take America back. Fox News is playing on my laptop. States turning red one by one. Pennsylvania, Georgia, Wisconsin. The commentators are talking fast, excited, cautious but hopeful. I sip my bourbon, the good stuff, the bottle Harold left behind that I've been saving for something special. This qualifies. At 11:47 p.m. Mountain Time, they call it. Fox News, then CNN, then even MSNBC can't deny it anymore. Donald Trump is the 47th President of the United States. I stand up, alone on my porch in the middle of 640 acres of Wyoming darkness, and I scream. Not a scared scream, not a hurt scream. A victory scream that echoes off the Absaroka Mountains and probably spooks every cow within half a mile. America chose right. After 4 years of Biden's inflation and open borders and weakness on the world stage, after watching our retirement accounts tank and our gas prices soar and our country lose respect. We chose strength again. My phone buzzes. Text message. Harold. I was wrong about everything. About Biden, about the ranch, about us. I'm sorry, Margaret. I'm so sorry. I read it 3 times. Sit back down in my chair. The bourbon glass sweats condensation onto the armrest. I could respond. Could tell him it's too late. Could rub his face in how far he's fallen. Could twist the knife one more time. Instead, I set the phone down. Don't reply. Don't acknowledge. Don't give him even the satisfaction of knowing I read it. Some apology don't deserve answers. The next morning, I wake up at 5 a.m. Same as always. Feed the cattle. Same as always. Make coffee. Same as always. Then I drive into town, to the Irma Hotel, where Harold works 6 days a week washing dishes and bussing tables. Where everyone in Cody can see him, can watch him, can know exactly what happens when you betray your family. I sit in my usual booth, order my usual breakfast, chicken fried steak, eggs over easy, coffee black as midnight. Sarah brings it with a smile. How you feeling this morning, Mrs. Thompson? Big night last night. Best night in 4 years, I tell her. Amen to that. My daddy's in the National Guard. Says Trump will actually respect the military again. We talk for a few minutes. About the election, about her classes, about life in general. Then Harold appears. Clearing tables, moving slow. His hands are even more raw than last time. Chemical burns from industrial dishwashing soap. He doesn't look at me, doesn't acknowledge me, just wipes down the table next to mine and loads dirty dishes into his gray tub. When I finish eating, I pull out my wallet, leave a 20 for Sarah. She earned it. Then I count out nickels, 24 of them, $1.20 exactly. I stack them in a neat pile on the edge of the table, where Harold will have to pick them up. Sarah sees it, covers her mouth to hide a smile. Word will spread. By lunchtime, the whole town will know. Margaret Thompson tipped her ex-husband in nickels. Again. I stand up, put on my coat, walk toward the door. Harold's voice stops me, quiet, defeated. Why nickels? I turn around, look at him for the first time since I left him in that Cheyenne parking lot. That's the exact inflation increase on a cup of coffee since Biden took office, $1.20. I figure you should understand what your political donations actually cost us. I walk out, don't look back. At home I saddle Liberty, my bay mare who's been with me through all of this. She nickers when she sees me, nuzzles my shoulder. We ride out to the ridge, where my daddy is buried, where the sunrise paints the mountains orange and gold. The wind picks up, blows through my silver hair. When did it turn silver? Sometime between Harold's betrayal and today, sometime between breaking and healing. But right now, on this horse, with this wind, with Trump back in the White House and my ranch still standing, I feel 40 again. I feel invincible. Back at the house, I stand on the porch. The sun is fully up now, November cold biting at my cheeks, cattle calling in the distance, a coyote yipping somewhere on the North Range. I pop open a Coors. Not bourbon this time. Beer, working class, American made. I raise it to the horizon, to the mountains, to the ranch, to Wyoming, to everything my family built and everything I fought to keep. Here's to strong women. Here's to stronger karma. Here's to America first. I drink deep, let the cold beer wash away the last of the bitterness. Then I look at the ranch sign by the gate, the one my granddaddy carved in 1890, weathered wood, hand-painted letters that have been touched up 100 times over 134 years. Thompson Cattle Company, established 1890, still standing. And we always will be. Because Thompson women don't fold, not for market crashes, not for betrayal, not for anything. We just get back up, dust ourselves off, and keep fighting. The American way. The only way. I finish my beer, set the empty can on the porch rail, turn and walk inside my house, my ranch, my legacy. Behind me the sun rises higher, the cattle graze, the land endures. Just like it always has. Just like it always will.